Hey guys, this is Tim with Motley Mods. Hopefully this is going to be the video that actually you get to see. So to start with, this is pretty much what we're going to need. If I miss something, it's going to show up when we need it. So solder, basic hand tools, obviously a soldering iron, solder flux, and so pretty much it. So here we have the kit. This is exactly how it's going to come, but obviously sealed with your name on it. So we have, this is one of the V2 kits, which is the same but different. Just a CNC box, different wiring. So we got the box, which you will receive with the magnets already press fitted in. So there's our box. Battery sled. Which my wife wraps up. Wow. Sorry if you guys don't know. Yes, you got one more open. There we go. So, here's our battery sled. Here we have all our goodies. Paracord. Make her pretty. The new 14 gauge silicone copper tinned wire. 14 gauge. Now we got a piece of 20 gauge here for the switch. Mosfet heatsink. Voltmeter in your bezel. Of course you'll get that. Some polarity stickers. Most. This isn't like, oh, if something happens to me, I don't get it. I'm sorry, but this is probably going to be in your kit. And the main reason I picked this kit, it has a Angel Eye LED switch. I get the most questions about this, so that'll hopefully be solved. The magnets that you would get if they were already installed. So we got an on-off mini rocker, and then I chose R510 just to kill another bird with one stone, to show how to set this guy up. So got that looks like it. Let's dig in. So the first thing we're going to want to do is prep the box, which is what you're going to do here. You don't want to skip this because you will scratch your box all up. So when it's on finished like these, isn't a huge deal because you can just get it right out with a Scotch-Brite pad. If you get one of the anodized ones, which should be here any day, definitely not going to want that. This guy. And we're going to leave the lid on just for measuring purposes, which I don't need. There's a lot of stuff in here that I'm going to try to do. Oh, and I should mention first off, we're not going to be using any belt sanders, drill presses, mills, nothing. We're doing this with as basic tools as possible, just so everyone can do it without buying hundreds of $1,000s worth of equipment. So these boxes here, they're just a touch over an inch and a quarter. So you're going to want to line your marks. You can use a regular one, but these are awesome. You can see right through. So, right there's our center. So, that's the switch. And now we're going to do the 510. As the voltmeter, we'll see how it goes, but I'm not going to cut that out just for sake of the video, and if I don't end up doing it, I'll do a separate video, but generally, you know, just mark it out. Which obviously you want to spend a little more time marking it than that, but you get the idea. So the first thing we need is a drill and bits. Yeah, I seen that coming. Which, by the way, I've got this camera going and I got this clone thing on my head that's blocking a little bit of my vision. Just trying to definitely get by. So steppers are the way to go. We plan on doing one a couple bucks, get the good Milwaukee ones, they're $50, but I've had the same set for a year. So, as far as the switch, the way I do it, especially this B-box, I mean, you don't have to be so precise. But you see right by, line this here up. See your furthest part on your nut. There, so we're going to clear that. So now we just want to look. So there we go. There's a anchor depth. I don't believe in the stenciling. You'll get the stencil and they're crooked or da-da-da, and to me it just seems more problems. Let's get this lid out of here. We don't need it, so there's some risk in it getting damaged. So, I'm going to drill our fire hole a bit. Okay, I just like to start with the, I use the smaller one, you know, that goes up to do your 12-inch or 12mm switch. So, that's not big enough, but you're obviously going to want to step. Let's get this off here. There we go. Let's set our sled in here. Let's get the tabs out of this thing. Screwdriver works great. We got these slices right here. By the way, this is the BLM, not the Keystone. These are a superior sled. Same materials. They have fixed the contacts. You no longer have to alter them. They put these tab removers. I mean, they've realized people use them for our applications, and they're not just soldering them to, you know, the boards. So nice and easy. Sticky chocolate on there. I was in here eating yesterday. Yes. Okay. Ditch the nut. Ours is a good time to check again. Definitely in the safe range. We can finish. Right here. potatoes. If you're like a G-box, this would be great. Because I use an old switch or a tap. You can tap it in and you ain't gotta worry about your nut. That should do it. Ooh. Oh, get in there. Well, these boxes are obviously thicker than the Hammond. There we go. Good. I'm gonna get these shavings out of here. I usually do this right over my garbage can, but obviously I couldn't do that. You guys wouldn't be able to see, which would kind of defeat the purpose. I love these mats. Most of you might even, or some of you probably even have one in your house and don't know it. This was the bottom to my cigarette rolling machine. So, okay, we got our iron fired up. I'm going to start with the battery slide. And as far as drilling this, I don't just start going crazy and drilling. One thing at a time. You commit to your holes and then you start building. It's like, oh man, that's going to be tight. This way here you can change on the fly if you have to. But you still want to, almost missed that. You're still going to want to lay your, you know, what you want out. Pretty much, yes, we know that's going to fit. This here, or we're going to put it on the outside, and then that's going to be your, you know, your thing. But if for some reason midway it's like, whoo, that's going to hit, you go right here. Twist those off, easy. Obviously I'm trying to hurry up here. I don't want this to be a 3-hour video. So, this is what our solid wire's for. Wire strippers. You can bend this with these, whatever. I like these just because they make it nice and squared out. One lead, done. Done. That's going to be too big. Watch. Shorten it. That one. A little bit on this one. Just go up a little, whichever favor, whatever side you want it to go. So, go. There she is. Straighten them up. Surprised I didn't have more. Especially being in a hurry. I'm klutzy when it comes to this. Whatever you use, just a good idea to put the heat sink on them, just so it doesn't push through and with the wire or whatever you're doing, it's kind of a protector. So we have our flux here. Her up. should do is, let's see, let's tin this. I have a fan behind me. Definitely want a fan. You don't want to breathe this crap in. Now, the way you should do this, line it up, solder, but especially if you're using one of the other sleds. But these, keep in mind, if you keep the shortcut, if you melt it, but they really don't melt. You have to put a ton of heat to it, really, with these ones. Now the squared, smaller, oops, I forgot I cleaned that yesterday. Boy, that comes out good now. Wow. Of course. Get some of that out of there. You want flux, but too much will give you problems too. Your solder will clog and blah, blah, blah. One of my best friends. Thing of alcohol. Epoxy this, it's awesome. So clean it off with this at least. Yeah, that's what you need. I hate those, the hand things, that's why I do it this way. I use that thing as little as possible. I've seen some guys have some cool ones, the little orange and that for like CNC machines, but my hands from doing paperwork I've done for the last plumber mechanic, there's not much feeling in my hands, so use caution. Just because you see me pick something up, now we'll take our sponge. Done. A little crooked. Easy enough fix, but we're not going to really worry about it because I'm going to get this video done. So, a series, if you're doing a series, it's actually easier, so we're going to do a parallel because there's more steps. Put them in, wire, wire. But since we're doing parallel, we're going to need to tie these together. So, yeah, like that there. Down there. You want to err to the side of being long, obviously. It's perfect. It's the only thing I use those for, so. And I mentioned I was a plumber for 25 years, so I've soldered thousands of miles of pipe. So any plumbers out there, this ain't the same. It took a while to get this down. Same concept, but it helps, but just because you do it doesn't mean you can solder electronics. If that was the case, I'd have figured this out and I would have never started this company because I wouldn't have had to buy all the extra stuff. I just had to do it. Lay on there, solder, then slide it in. This way is just way easier. Down here. I don't want to pull it. Bye. Another thing with the alcohol, maybe when I'm all finished, you don't have to, but just, you know, get it off. I don't want that nasty flux over your stuff. Okay, so there we go. Battery flat. So, let's get to our Mosfet. Prep it. Guys, get my Mosfet. Alright, this is exactly what you will get. Mosfet and the wire resistor and Mosfet. This is how we're going to start. See these legs? See, all those dudes getting away. You don't need them. Yep. Plugs her up. Wire here. So, we're going to tin these as well. Going to be our source. Gate. Drain. Here's a trick that I picked up. I don't use it anymore. I'll show it to you guys. It's like, oh, I got it all blobbed together. A couple of these guys on there. Let's do it again. I use the hot side, but I used to use just a regular soldering iron and a good old little torch. So, I'm going to put our drain on first. Buttered up tight. And once you see it, you'll see it. Flash over. And you're good. You don't have enough solder on there. Yeah, of course. Ain't no big deal. A couple people watching, but hold on. Oh, what's going on there? And you don't just want to cook this. Okay, there we go. Centered, buttered up tight. And see how it's flashed? It's not. What the? Gotta be kidding me. There we go. Wow, I don't believe that. See, well, these didn't give me the biggest problem at first. I would have clung to them. So So just because it didn't stick right away there, it doesn't have me too upset. We're just going to clean her up. So she's buttered up nice and tight. That's going to help when you're installing. And I broke so many of these legs, it's unreal. So we got that one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cover it up so when we solder the other ones, now we don't have to worry about them getting clunked all together. So there's that guy. Of course, everything that can go wrong will go wrong, right? Yeah, the one I did last night with nobody watching, bing bing boom. So we're going to set a resistor. I like to put it up here. You can put it down below if you like. I just don't want these wires touching any of these ones, obviously. Okay, so there she is. We're going to take it there. There we go. There we go. More. There we go. We don't need that no more. Alright. So, get started. That's how it's supposed to take. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, get it. So she better glide. We got a little guy here. Are you this? I'm going to butter right up on there. And start there. Easy, easy, right? I know it's not. I blankety blanked a bunch of those. Sink on there. Same with the wires. I don't cut these neither. You want to dedicate yourself to it if you don't have to till the very end. It's a good idea to keep that one open. Okay. To these two. Here I we're going to razor blade. I forgot to show you guys this. Good idea. Let's get this out of here. To make sure you don't have anything touching. A razor blade works great to gap you out. Make sure there's nothing touching. Nothing, nothing jumping. So we're good to go. Yes. That right. Trash that. going to get black or red, which isn't something that's going to confuse you because it's obviously way smaller. Tell that one right apart. And we can just decide which one you want to use for the source and the gate. And I don't usually do this until later, but I will just because it's going to hold everything tight. So, here's our voltmeter. I'm going to use this wire for a voltmeter, obviously, and for our angel eye. And I find this to be the best way for any accessories right onto the Mosfet. No messing around. There. There. Something there. There. All this stuff is pretty beat up. To the positive and negative sides of the Mosfet. And then you can decide if you want to run them up or down, how your build is going to go. This one, they're going to go down because our Mosfets are going to head up, so we're going to want them going the opposite direction. So that depends on that placement. Put her on there. This one to this side. First of all, this is usually how I do it. If you can go without breaking these anyways, it's a miracle. They always end up going off, so I always re-tack them anyways, just because the factory sometimes isn't the most secure. That's good. Not much there. Don't want it on because it might dig through. You don't want it to shorten out. There. So now we're ready to seal her up. Let's see here. I usually just go right past these covers and you want a little bit over the top. Go ahead and prep the 510. full of springs. I lost enough of those. So I'm going to take our pin, which is copper, better conducting. We are going to very, very little. So if you want too much, it's going to be a big pain to do. So this still attached. Yeah, to Mosfet. A little bit. Pin up. There we go. Wire. It's all nice knot. There it goes. There she goes. We're off. Okay, done. Good. Here. See, end up getting a little more. You can take a file and just use should be good. That right now. It's nasty. In fact, the first thing we do when you're done is now we're going to size her up so we know the pin's going to be right in here. So I like to put a little coil to it. Let's remove it. That's what we're going to need. You can put a heat sink on it if you want. I usually don't, but I will. Special just wire. If we were going to do I guess I'll do this one piece, and I'm going to do a separate video. Just for time's sake, I'm not going to see him. That's a lot of extra. There's one trimmer. Take your heat. Nice little heat there. So you can decide to go with that. Wait a minute. I might want to put that together before I do that. Make sure it slides over. If not, you might have to just sand it a little more. And a tiny bit more flat. Right there. That's the culprit. Yep. I forgot to do the wire, but we'll do that next. So we're going over there. Seems that these are both already pinned. And if you try just heating this wire and setting it on there, it's not going to happen. You got to reheat this. Get this going. Once you get that going, and you go throw your heat on it. Some more solder now. Now I can see it all. It's all liquid. That's what we want. That's right, we were gonna put it. No, I'm not gonna even do this. We would have had to have done that at first. But nevertheless, here we go. Not gonna worry, like I said, I'm gonna do because there's a lot of little tricks for this stuff, so I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that. So we got here. Okay. A lot of times with the beads, I'll put it up on the first step, and then you can solder your wire right on the back of it. But if you want to sit flush, obviously you're gonna need to come out the side. So, usually I would have did this before I soldered all this together, but it's going to be another kill too at the same time because that's the one that was a little off to begin with. So, let's see. A lot of these things, especially paracord and everything, it's probably what I use the most. Yeah, she's not going to come back out though. Yeah, it's good and been put up this way because you're in there, your things ain't gonna fall out. But I think I can get this off with this. There we go. Nah, it's too on there. I think I'll make it more axle. Yeah, it's my daughter on the ride. She's out of luck. Alright, we're gonna have to do it on here. In the inner world, it's not the right for to do it, so we're gonna flux on there. I'm going to take our wire here. Hopefully this one turns out for you guys to see it, but regardless, obviously I'm going to do others. Okay. Actually, that's going to be quite easy right there. That might be my new way to do it. Look at that. Nice trick, huh? Taught myself something too. Oh, freaking sweet. Oh yeah. Oh well. Should have got my. Wow, this is just killing me. Very serious. This is why there hasn't been a video till now. Just how many people? I can't hurry. If I hurry, I mess myself up. So. Well, that was so easy, we'll just take her back off. So, we're going to drain. Wow, so we gotta redo it anyways. So, let's see, there we go. I want that to come down. Go through. Don't want it too long, and definitely don't want it too short. So, got a door. Again, you're going to want to use heat sink for this stuff. Come on. There she goes. Right, let's try this again. Right through there, it's like a perfect line. I just realized, hopefully you guys are even seeing this. Well, I'm trying to get this silly thing on, so I don't know how to edit, so I don't know how much of one or the other will be able to put on a video. And there's that one. But it's better to do it this way. Because if you put heat stuff or whatever in there, make sure you crank it back a little bit so it's not interfering when you put the batteries in. Yes, I learned that the hard way too. Chocolate out right there. I need some coffee in the vape. Sorry, I'm taking a break. I'm not stopping the video, so I don't know if I'll start it back up right. Love this thing. I built this a couple weeks ago. It's a budget box. A triple slide I put in there. Oh my god, this thing just hits killer. I just, I might actually, well actually I am going to make this a kit. Love it. Here's the DNA 75 that I did. I like it too. It's dual batteries that last for long, but this has been my favorite. Goes to show, you know, more expensive, bigger, not always better. Into clouds, vape 24 milligrams, never planned on quitting smoking, went to the hospital, quit smoking, still highly addicted to nicotine, but now I can breathe. I left the wires, bring it up here, or I can change my mind. So, I'm gonna get rid of this, because now that that's all lined up there. Make sure we get it lined up. We know 510s are going to be at the furthest here. If you decide to go to the other end, right now the plan's for the middle. That. Go. I'm going to do an on-off switch. If we weren't, boom, ready to go. So, got a little mini rocker. I love these things. Very long leads. A little plugs on there. Tin this as well. You want to be quick with these because you will melt it. This is not as forgiving as this lead. Alright. Keep her off. That just doesn't put torque on it. It does heat up a little bit. I've fixed them, heat it up, push her down, and she'll usually still work. The best way to avoid that though is not to do it in the first place, obviously. Okay, so she's off. I'm gonna put the switch. I'm gonna put it up here. I generally go here with them. So, I'm gonna take this here. That's looking good. My big thing, I mean, like even people requested me to drill the boxes, and I'm considering it because a lot of people, I first thought that, well, if you can't drill a hole in the box, you shouldn't be drilling the box. But I was, like I said, it was easy for me to do the mechanics of the box, just because that's kind of the things I do with my hands, and the soldering was hard. I just came to realize that there's guys out there that can probably solder very well, but not so good at doing the holes, so I think that is going to be an option. But as far as the information, 99% of the time everything's good, but I get some people every once in a while, I did it just like you said and it didn't work. Well, obviously you didn't do something right if it didn't work. There's very little accountability with people anymore. Yeah, like I said, it's rare. Most of you guys are great, but there are some out there that little fraction of a percent I find very irritating. Like I said, I have boxes of bad parts. I never once called a supplier and said, hey, I want a new one, because I overheated it, or I bent the palm off, or, you know, it's like, so, I mean, sometimes, you know, there are things that fail. I have no problem with people with this stuff, but if you know you messed it up, I'm not going to do that whole thing anyway. I'm freaking myself irritated. The main reason it's, you know, in my mind is because I had one yesterday. Like I said, in the last year there's been maybe 8 or so with unreasonable expectations. Yeah, I cut that at an angle, which usually I would take more time to, and that way it'll give us some coverage across the bottom there. I'm not a fan of liquid tape or something that will go up everywhere, but sometimes you have to use it in small spots like this. So we have here, that's it. We got the wires here. Get that away from the next second. There we go. Take this part of the 20. Usually you would do that, but like I said, I hate those things. But sometimes I usually have to use it. See, I just use my finger. You could. The good way is, yourself with wet. The quicker you get that heat off there, the better. Make sure it's touched. Yep. Clean it up a little bit. I have tried. Oh, so let me move the solder around, and next thing you know, you ruined it. So, here we go. Again, I could leave this long until you don't need it, but this is still going to be a little long to get some of it out of the way, and that's the end of that. I don't need that anymore, so here we go. The fun part, people. We got our angel eye here. I haven't had light on me this whole time. Wow, you guys can see. You can see it's marked positive, negative. So you got your positive and negative. The way to do this is the easiest way to do this. Two separate entities. This is your switch, just like normal. Don't go. This is your light. So you could run this thing constant if you wanted, which really nobody ever does. I don't know. I've never seen nobody that has to do it that way. But so you're gonna want, when you hit this, you know, the switch, that's when you're gonna want to send the power to positive here, and that's where most people have the problem. So where's our resistors? Right here. So you get a resistor. If you don't use a resistor, you will blow the LED. The switch will still work fine, but it will not light up. So, and it goes to the positive. There's our positive. So we're going to chop this thing down. That's all we need. Flex on it. So there's positives at the top. Place. And quick tap. That's all you need. Same with this. Overheat it. You're gonna have a bad time. Now here, you could just jump it, which is usually what I do, or you could just tie it right there, because these are going to come on and off with the Mosfet. So when you apply the button, anything tied to these is going to turn on and off with the switch. So what we're going to do though is jump this one. I guess it's easiest. So that's that. You can go to either side, but once you tie it on, you have to make sure you don't tie the battery side to where the resistors are. You're going to have a constant flow of power. You're going to want to tie it to the Mosfet side, so the power goes, and when you hit it and it activates the switch, boom, boom. So we're going to bring her down. Yeah. which I've never ever done. I can't believe that. I usually don't do it like that either though. Usually, it's because I was trying to show the two ways. Usually I would take it here and here. In the beginning. Like I was just talking about, breaking that resistor. Oh, that sucked. But guess who did it? Fortunately, thanks to you guys, I have to walk across the hall. I got a new one, so it doesn't really suck for me. And I do understand that it sucks for you, but it still doesn't make it my fault. Leads off. So she's ready to go. So, don't solder your wires on. So we got that. And then we're gonna need to put some of the fuse. We're going to steal a little bit of wire from the voltmeter for the ground to the switch, which I am going to hook to this voltmeter and there. So let's see, find out where our negative is again. Positive top, negative to bottom. So you guys can see that. Everything is marked, and that's how it goes. Don't forget it's on there and tighten your switch or your 510 down. It's okay. You're trying to get it off and end up having to loose everything again. So just ease your back a little. Right now it makes it easy. I'm just having a second. could also, solder your leads onto here and then do the Mosfet last. I'll do it that way sometimes too. It doesn't matter how you get these things hooked together, as long as they hook together in the right order. You can wrap it around here 20 times if you want, as long as it ends up at the same spot. Done with this too, so wait a sec. Right here, so I have switch. I have a voltmeter there. Ground here, which is what we're running off of too. I always use the drain or the ground to turn on and off the, or actually it's the source, so I don't want to mix those up actually. So I'm going to take this to, let's see here, take this. Where you can have a little more point. And yes, I've watched other people's videos and go, oh yeah, that dude's an idiot. Once you try to do these things, you'll realize that you will make mistakes and do things that you would never ever do. And that's like one of the videos I'll have too, because I've learned a lot of tricks to fix things that have been jacked up by me. I'm going to take it here. I usually don't take it down here, but we had luck with that. Let's try it again. We won't blow our other solder, but we'll hold it in place just to show it. See it, it's not way. Perfectly functional, that's the main thing. I take the shortcut's fine, but I have something to do with the function of the box. You don't want to do that. Wow, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, okay. I thought I messed up again. There we go. Like I said, I usually use it a lot more, especially if you're dealing with paracord. And my thing's battery is dead on my head, so much for that view. I'm trying to concentrate on this one, and hopefully it's enough of it on here. So I'm getting tired of doing these videos with no end result. So that's already great. This is, so we need we're not done with this short piece, we're going to need this short piece to go from the switch to the power. So, we need this. Okay, yeah, we need to go from power to the switch. Let's do it on the other one. If there's room, I always like to use both of them. There's plenty here. The G-box, that probably wouldn't have been an option at all. So we're going to want to heat this up. As I said before, I want to get this existing solder heated up. If you just try heating this wire, here. Make sure she's on there. If it didn't penetrate, it would peel right off. That's not done. I should have already had that. So, here, pretty much done. Let's take this one here. Just go to the switch. So, leave yourself a little wiggle room in there, just because it's easier to pull stuff back out. Ready to go. He's got a 4-prong little switch. So now we know that our 5 pin is going to go in the middle. So I didn't measure to center it up, which we will do right now. If I can find my marker. That really sucks. That other one, the battery went dead. Here it is. And this one is right center right there. A vise. I have vices for Fallon and all that. Again, I'm trying to be minimalistic. I'm not using, I wouldn't use my drill press for this anyways, probably, but I'm not using any of that stuff. Before you're going to want to, it's easier to drill a little more. I'm trying to put some back. It's close to get a little more. Be able to see. Definitely nice to have a garbage can that you can, and what I literally have is a 5-gallon bucket. It works nice to catch everything. I'll throw those away. Hey. Yeah, there wasn't much box prep in this for sure. So this is the main one I want to get out, the whole length one. I can definitely do one on just prepping the box, just doing the paracord. It's not going to take an hour to do those. We're going to do those for 20 minutes. Good to go there. We put our sync on before because there's no way to get it on after. Out a little bit. There we go. Part over this so you guys can see this. The hardest part. And actually I usually all over, so I barricaded myself to try to stay in here because I had a big problem with the ones I've tried before. Not staying in the picture. Again, that's something you'd want to use a Q-tip for so you don't burn yourself, but you're past that stage. And even on this, you really don't even need, because it's only to come on and go to ground, and it's going to ground the whole box anyway, so this can touch it and everything that it wants. But just for the sake of it, I'm going to pretend to put it on there. There we go. So, as we go our button, we are ready to, of course, switch up. And our switch, like I said earlier, that's our negative, which is a good way to tell now. And you got your negative wire coming right off of it. So we know that's our positive. Here's our resistor. Here's the not resistor. This will go to the Mosfet, not to the power. Because if you switch them around, it's going to be constant and just be something you're going to have to redo. So this is the wire that goes to the Mosfet. So we want to be on the Mosfet side, which is going to be this one right there. Got our ground positive for the LED. That's the jumper, so we know that's the side that goes to the Mosfet, the side that goes to the power. So we have the side that goes to the Mosfet right here, and we're gonna put this right on the switch here. You usually put your heat on there or some liquid, your stuff that I forgot, because obviously this box is getting rebuilt. This is purely for instructional purposes. What does that say? How does that do? It's one of my favorites for my kids. We would usually have our voltmeter right here, and then I would just take, put her in the hole in there, and then just tack, that's hooked up. Serious? Wow. wrong side. I can't believe all this crap. Well, maybe this thing won't make the cut. I'm trying to see. That's better. And make sure she's out now. I'm just gonna peel off. Little brushes are nice, little pink brush. I got flux brush that I use more often just to make sure I don't have any little chips in here that are gonna get up and hit something they're not supposed to and short you out. Make sure that you're not down anywhere. It's going to cause a problem. This just is because I was a dumbass and started to the wrong side, but there's nothing going down so far. Get that, get that, get that. So, we're going to get that side hooked up. So now we want to hook this side up. Which we would want to put our heat sink on, because it is one of those ones that's not gonna be able to put it on after the fact. I'm not going to do the one to show you. Just need to have one for down, one for up. And you can see you definitely get enough heat sink. And then the pieces I used is extra for the little cheater on the Mosfet even. That, and if you want any time to cool it quicker is better, so obviously we heat her up now. Heat this guy up. Make sure on the other one. Power going to the power side. I keep forgetting to do this too. So we have our power side straight to power. Mosfet goes to the switch because there's no real power. You do not want to take your power wire and took it to the switch and then to the Mosfet or anything like that, because the whole purpose of the Mosfet is because we can use this little 2 or 3 amp rated switch or this 3 amp rated button is the whole purpose of that Mosfet. If you use no Mosfet, you put this thing together, it's going to weld itself, and I learned that the hard way. And hopefully you get the batteries out before they weld themselves, and then you got a little bong that you're going to have to chuck. It's not fun, especially when you put a lot of work into something to watch it burn up on top of the safety. Which brings me to the fuses. More people than not don't use them, including myself, because my thing on that is if you build it right and you don't put your batteries in wrong or something, human error. I mean, if you're somebody that thinks you're gonna do something wrong, by all means do that. But it's just more resistance on the system. Another thing to fail, and more than likely, before anything bad happens, the Mosfet's gonna fry, and that was your fuse. So I've been adding that as an option. I don't just put it in the kits, because these kits come complete, as you can see. there's a no need for anything else. I see these other kids, oh, it's, you know, $15.99 or da-da-da, and then you get there and they have a ton of upgrades, and next thing you know, it's a $60 kit. This is no bait and switch. All the kits, whether what expense range you go with, is going to have everything needed. You might not get as many bells and whistles, and I mean, obviously, you know, they're like the $13 budget box. I mean, you're not going to get a CNC enclosure. And, you know, and honestly, that's the only thing I really complain once in a while is with people doing something and messing something up on these, but I'm not going to stop selling them for the simple fact that not everybody can fork out $40, $45 for, you know, for one of these versus $15, you know, to get the job done. I mean, so I'm not going to take that option away just because there is such a demand. I sell a lot of these too, and it's very rare that it does. Like I say, that little tiny percent is usually something concerning that they did something in order. Anyhow, let's finish this thing. That's why I didn't want to start that in the beginning and get rambling. So I love this 5-tank connector tool. Love it. Again, I'm not going to use it though because I'm sure the bulk of you do not have one. So there's that. This is a 15 millimeter or 22, so you can use, you know, whatever you want. But obviously, I want the 22. Click in. We need our. There it is. So you're gonna put this on first. I like this going over everything, so make sure everything's under, and then we're going to go through the ground, obviously, and then you see what I'm saying? I used the most. I really didn't use them that much in this one, so apparently it's a paracord thing. That's why I use it on a G-box too. In tight spaces, we need to move a wire. I find it easier to take the insulator and put it on this side first because it'll hold all this together and just finagling it through. And this thing's got an awesome insulator, nice thick. I mean, it ain't like some of the other ones where it, you know, you build too low or something and you're going to melt it or the strips fail. It's how we've got thick threads. You can go up to 400 watts with it, which is something I would never do. There's some people out there that like that crazy power. Not a super sub owner. Got a ton of watts. I do a 0.5 build. And we gotta put this back through. And put this on it. Make sure she's following the right path. There we go. These do come in handy for that. And we already have our nut on the wire, so there's that. Chase this guy up. So they're ready to receive. Just put that together. There we go. actually, I'm going to show it both ways, with and without the installation tool, because there was one guy that, I'm sure you can see, you know, one of the few negatives on there, which at first was very upsetting, but then I realized selling DIY kits, I mean, I've never had a complaint as far as my completed boxes. But with the kits, like I was saying, everybody, not everybody, there are guys that, you know, say I messed it up, and more than likely I'll send you the part for nothing. It's not irritating, and it happens. But, and I spoke of that earlier. You want your tape off. But anyhow, he blamed the installation tool. You know, it doesn't work, it ruined my mod, and you know, it does work, and then he says no instructions. Well, I've never had a tool in my life that came with instructions. I mean, it's a tool, or just ask, you know, he never conned nothing. I mean, you don't know how to use it, just ask, it's easy as that. It would have been quicker than it would have took you to write the bad thing to ask me. So when you're using one of these, you know what? No, we're not going to use it because I'll do that as a side video. Let's wrap this thing up. I'm turning this into a vlog instead of a build. What did I get tagged there? Nothing. I'm just going to get it all up there. So, we'll get our that up there. Get it lined up. This guy's been a long time since I did one route that. So, installation tool. So, get this thing lined up. There she is. Now I'm going to put this right through the crosshairs. Use any little flat thing, but I find tweezers work good. Now I lost my nut. Come on. There we go. Get her done now. More often than not, you can get her tamed up without another tool on the inside here. Every once in a while, you have to get a tool in there, but not that tweaked in there nice. I don't know if I ever had to with these. That tightens in there nice. Get out of here, because we're done messing around anyways. Like I said, usually, if we had our hole there, I'm going to show you in a different video how to put the hole there. Tack, tack. Put her in. Done. But we have this, the switch is what people really ask about, so that's fine. And obviously you would not want to fire this thing now without everything being secure. So that's where, you know, your two-part epoxy would come in. Don't go crazy with it. I did it first and I'd spend an hour pulling off what I did, and it was goose and alcohol. Just lift it up a tiny bit, fill these, push it out, just once it's got enough under there, that's fine. And because you don't want it all cooked up anyways, for some reason, it's easy enough to redo if you do drop it and it breaks loose. Or if you need to do it because you want to turn it into a workbox or whatever. So, that's that. There's that. We would have your liquid tape, which you don't have to have. You can even put a piece of electrical tape on here, and even your epoxy, there's as long as it's covered. But there she goes. She's all hooked up. That's a and then that switch, which we would put some epoxy on there and put it right there. Put some epoxy. Take one of your. These help too. You know, it's you know, you get the 5-minute stuff. You gotta sit there and hold. It's a pain in the butt, but it can be done if you don't, you know, have a little clamp or big spring, whatever. Same within there. And that's, like I said, I'm gonna part it out. This was just trying to. So if this shorts out, it's my own dumbass fault, but I can see nothing's touching nowhere, and obviously this is way out of there because you don't want that. So what we're going to do is we are going to throw a battery in here because it's parallel. We can get away with just one right now. Nothing smoking. Let's get an atomizer. There we go. We got twisted messes. Got a big dripper. I do once in a while, especially with these valves. I love this one. Let's see if it'll fire them big coils. Got a junk battery in there. Yep. Turn it on. You can see the light's lighting up. This battery's junk. Let me grab a real battery. That's a 100-year-old VT5 out of a laptop. I mainly keep it around for when I'm gluing things or whatever. So now we're lighting her up. There she is. It's alive. Simple as that. It's like a 1-ohm coil. I got it for series. Alright, you see it works. Thank you much, guys.